For the last 6 months, Newswatch has been investigating reports of contaminated water and venting gas in Wyoming County. Residents say the water smells like rotten eggs, damages their health, and in some cases blows up their wells. Tonight, in part 1 of our 3-part series, we take you to the heart of a crisis unfolding in the mountains, where families are bathing in water that they are afraid to drink, and no one in power is stepping up to stop it.
On the Baileysville Hunting Club property, combustible gas is escaping from the ground. The gas isn't just a hazard. Residents are concerned about a possible disaster.
There's a gentleman who goes to my grandson-in-law's church in Bud. He told the people in the church, he said, I'm concerned about the people in Brenton because there's methane gas in the water, in the well water. And that's explosive, between 5 and 15%. If any spark at all goes off, it's probably going to take the town of Brenton off the map.
The DEP has been notified and has found the gas leak on the Baileysville Hunting Club property just a few miles from Brenton. According to residents in Brenton, a house exploded 2 months ago, and while the cause is unknown, it's left residents feeling shaken.
I'm not sure what caused the explosion, but it leveled the house completely. I mean, it shook my church. I was sitting in my study and it shook the church.
10 miles southeast, people are reporting similar issues. Dakota Day, a resident along Indian Creek, reported his well blowing up in 2024, only for him to put it out with a jacket.
I took a leather coat and put it over the liner pipe, put it out. My neighbor got blowed up about 4 or 5 days later.
Another resident along Miles Branch Road has reported methane in his well.
Well, first I had methane in it, and they come and checked it, said it was natural, it was seeping up through the rocks.
While combustible gas pours out of the ground and potentially into residential wells, a different problem pours out of the faucets.
You can't drink it, you can't cook with it, you can't do nothing with that water that you got now. The smell and the odor in your house, it's just, gosh, you just can't hardly even turn it on. And, you know, you got to share with it because that's all you got and stuff. And you get out dirtier than what you get in. It's just that bad.
The smell is terrible, but for residents, there's no other choice.
We first started noticing a really foul smell, almost like a sulfur smell. In the wintertime, it's not quite as bad, but summertime, it's unbearable.
Indian Creek is not the only community dealing with this situation. Residents in Brenton and Baileysville report similar issues. And the DEP says everything is natural.
Our well water started to turn brown, and it just kept getting worse and worse until it almost looked like sand. And it was a mixture of sand and clay.
In 2020, Lee found sulfate-reducing bacteria in his filter system. In an email to Newswatch, WVDEP spokesperson Terry Fletcher stated that the white stringy substance is sulfate-reducing bacteria and it poses no risk to residents.
Okay, that's a bacterial mat, and what's happening there is that bacteria is processing sulfur. It's taking sulfur from a dissolved state and putting it up into the atmosphere as hydrogen sulfide gas, and that's why the streams stink. They smell like rotten eggs. That's hydrogen sulfide gas. That's obviously a nuisance, but it's more than that. It's also a public health concern because hydrogen sulfide gas at high concentrations is toxic for people. So we're concerned about that.
According to the University of Georgia, drinking water with high levels of hydrogen sulfide can cause nausea and stomach pain. High levels may also have a laxative effect and can be especially detrimental to infants and animals. According to the U.S. EPA, studies in humans suggest that the respiratory tract and nervous system are the most sensitive targets of hydrogen sulfide toxicity. Exposure to low concentrations of hydrogen sulfide may cause irritation to the eyes, nose, or throat, headaches, poor memory, tiredness, and balance problems. In some individuals, there may be negative long-term effects, such as headaches, poor attention span, poor memory, and poor motor function. Studies show the gas's effect on living things, but there are no state or federal regulations associated with the toxin because the EPA says high concentrations are not palatable for humans. In Brenton, residents make their coffee with tap water because they have no other choice.
When I make coffee and stuff, I just got the water out of the sink.
In 2020, when Lee found the white stringy substance in his home water filter, which goes to both his house and the church he serves, he got his well tested. He later received a letter from the Wyoming County Health Department stating residents should not drink, bathe, or even brush their teeth with the water.
We were told not to use the water for drinking, for cooking, for bathing even, or taking a shower, brushing their teeth.
Did they give you an alternative? 4 years later, nothing has changed. And now that they know what is in the water, residents are afraid.
To discover that it had bacteria in it was very scary to us. And my grandson lived with me for a while, and he winds up with cancer.
Cancer and other health complications have been popping up more and more in the recent years, and although no connections to the water have been made, the pattern is hard to ignore.
2 or 3 people in the holler. I don't know whether it's with this or not, but I know they got cancer and bad stomach and stuff. So, and then it's really messed me up. I've been sick for the last 2 years and out of the hospital with different things.
Pastor Lee was a coal miner for over 30 years in the Pinnacle Complex mine in Wyoming County and does whatever he can now to provide comfort around the water for his family.
My great-grandson goes in to take a bath. I've got the hot water on. He walks into the bedroom and he says, "That stinks. It stinks really bad." I said, "I know it, Noah, but I can't help it. We can't do anything about it. We just put soap in it and make it smell better."
And when asked about drinking the water,
as far as drinking it, we'll never drink it. I would be definitely scared to do that. I'd be scared for my family to do that.
And they are not the only ones dealing with poor water quality. Residents along Indian Creek have complained about the issue for over 2 years.
It's been rusty. You couldn't hardly. Right now, I've done bought washers, dishwashers, and now hot water heaters are going out. So it's running everything in the house. It's done run air health.
Keene has bladder cancer and is in the 3rd stage of kidney failure. After living along Indian Creek for nearly 40 years, he blames the water.
This kidney disease and stuff, but I don't know what. I know about what done it. It was this water, because I've been here since 1985. So we drunk this and didn't know it had arsenic in it.
The West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection has been notified about both the gas and the water quality, but their response has only left residents with more questions. I ran into 2 DEP officers right here outside the hunting club where they confirmed they were looking into the matter of the escaping combustible gas, but they declined to comment on record. The DEP also says that the contaminated water flowing into residents' wells is a result of natural processes, a process that residents have not seen before.
These families aren't just battling bad water, they're battling silence. State officials say it's natural, while residents say it's making them sick. Tomorrow night, we dig into what is in the water, from heavy metals to toxic gas, and what local, state, and federal officials have to say. If you want to go more in depth on today's report, visit our website at WAY.com.